Hi, I'm David. Welcome to my channel, my yard sale. Hey, today I want to talk a little bit about my last week and a health update and kind of some things that have happened and maybe some things that I've learned. And then, of course, I have a few things that I want to rant about and I want to just generally talk about. And feedback is always important to me. I enjoy the comments, and quite frankly, the comments kind of keep me motivated and keep me moving forward. So first I want to talk about this last week. So this last week I think is actually it's a it was actually extremely difficult. And I think it was just the prior 3 to 4 weeks just adding up, adding up, adding up, adding up, and getting worse for me physically. It's hard to explain it. I don't even know how to explain what I went through this week. So the strange thing is, if you have a high A1C and you're diagnosed with diabetes and prediabetes, it doesn't necessarily affect you negatively. But when you get to the point where you have metabolic issues, which is of course many years into diabetes and prediabetes, your body becomes dysfunctional. And I want to talk about what some of this dysfunction is. And I think this dysfunction is directly caused from the damage done of all the time having that high A1C and then inflammation. And the inflammation makes my eyesight terrible. And I can see, I can see the computer that I'm looking at. I can see, my driveway. I can see my yard. But my eyes don't work right together. So trying to focus on something is difficult. It's just sketchy. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like having a bad prescription on my glasses. Even though I know my glasses are right, because when I don't have inflammation, I can see fine. But then when I'm inflamed, like my eyes don't work right. I get skin problems. Skin problems, not like rashes or sores or anything like that, but skin problems like where my face starts peeling, mostly my legs, mostly my calves start peeling, get very dry and itchy and scaly. My scalp quite a bit, like my head, it gets it. And I think this is because my body knows how to get rid of the sugars that I've got into my system. I just pee constantly. I'll pee 15 times in a day. And it's not like I'm drinking 15 cups of water and then I go in and go to the bathroom to pee it off. It's like I'll just randomly have to pee again, and it's not even like, it doesn't even totally make sense. But it's my body definitely trying to get rid of all the sugars and the carbs from the sugars, or the sugars from the carbs. It's my body trying to get rid of all the sugars. So I pee a lot, and that causes skin problems. Like when you pee that much, if you don't have enough water in your system, if you're not hydrated enough, your body will pull the water from wherever it needs to be able to pass all those sugars. And again, you might not think it's that much sugars, but if there's a lot of carbs in your diet, there's probably quite a bit of sugars. So I had this peak, I guess, of inflammation, and I had this muscle weakness that it made it like impossible for me to stand up and walk away from where I'm sitting. Or if I could get the strength together to stand up and walk away, I would get halfway through trying to accomplish what I needed to accomplish, and I would lose the strength of my legs. I would either have to sit down or I'd fall down and then not be able to get back up. Very frustrating. So that again, this came to a point last week, and that's when I kind of started realizing, holy crap, something's going on here. So I want to thank all the subs, all the people that are subscribing to my channel, because again, it gives me purpose to why I'm doing this. At first, I thought I was doing it for myself, which I am doing it for myself, this gives me a good way to share my story with the world. And, who knows? Maybe something will happen from it. I don't know. But what I didn't realize is that I would be able to hopefully help other people, and then possibly that other people would be able to help me. Now that actually happened this last week, because right as I was getting to a extremely difficult time and trying to figure things out, I got a post from a subscriber, a comment, I should say, from a subscriber that actually brought to my attention what I was doing to myself and what was probably causing all the problems that I was having. That's from Magnus Dens. So you can go back and look at my comments if you want to know exactly what he said. He mentioned that it's quite possible that what I was experiencing was, again, insulin resistance, and that it wasn't actually some other stuff that I thought it was. And I just want to say, Magnus Dens, I think you're right. I actually sat down, read that comment one more time, actually more than one time, but several times, and I went back and looked at all the food that I've bought over the last 4 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks. I got out a calculator and started calculating carbs, and where I was doing a keto diet, which to me a keto diet doesn't mean that I'm eating a particular thing. It means that I'm, or a particular way. It just means that I'm eating less than 100 carbs every day. But what I was eating was, I think, more than 100 carbs. So I was eating meat, I was eating vegetables, but I think I was eating more than 100 carbs. And maybe my body just needs less than 100 carbs. And it just slowly got worse and worse and worse. And again, last week kind of came to a head. But so that post kind of brought to my attention that, holy crap, maybe I am eating too many carbs. Maybe this is spiking my insulin resistance, making my metabolic issues worse. And again, I think you're right. And so now I've made changes. Now I'm not eating keto right now. I'm eating carnivore. So for the next probably 10 days, I'll be eating meat and eggs only. And then I'll switch back to ketovore hopefully next week, and kind of eat a little bit normal without all the garbage. Some of the garbage that I was eating, that it actually wasn't garbage. It was delicious. But some of the things that I was eating that I think just spiked my insulin up and kind of caused all these issues is I was eating these tortillas, because I make this kind of taco food of beans, meat, and vegetables. I cook it up in a huge pot, and I eat that for dinner, lunch, and breakfast, honestly. But I really enjoyed having these tortillas with it. And I think those tortillas were 17, 18 grams of carbs each one, and I would eat 2 or 3 of them in a seating, which is just pure bad carbs. And then on top of that, I was eating 2 to 3 apples a day, sometimes even more. Apples are 25 grams of carbs each. So I was eating definitely more than 100 grams of carbs, which is, again, above a ketovore diet. I think my body just can't handle anything in that whole 100-gram ketovore space. I have to eat. I'm going to try to keep it down to 10 to 25 grams of carbs every day, and then see how that does. So that was something that happened last week that was actually extremely difficult, a little bit scary, but I'm hoping I figured it out. And again, thanks for the comments. All the comments that I've gotten have been very positive and helpful. But this particular comment, I think, pointed out some things that I was doing in error, and I think you were right. I think it absolutely was the insulin resistance in my body coming back. I thought my insulin resistance was resolving because I'm actually building muscle. I'm not gaining weight necessarily, but I am building muscle. I can physically see it on my body. My legs, I can see that I'm not like just bones and skin anymore. I actually have some muscle around my bones. I can see it in my biceps. I can feel it in my back. I can feel the muscle building. I can see it. So I thought that I was beyond the insulin resistance thing, but being above ketovore carb-wise pulled me right back into the dysfunction, and hopefully now I'm gonna eat carnivore for the next probably 10 days or so, and then I'll start adding in carbs a little tiny bit if I can just get myself back on track. See, I think it's interesting. I saw this video from Ken Berry, Ken Berry is a doctor on YouTube that talks a lot about keto and carnivore and the dysfunction and all the issues you get with eating crap American diet. And his videos have been very helpful. If you're experiencing problems with health issues, with diabetes, prediabetes, or metabolic issues, I suggest you check out Ken Berry's posts. His posts have been very helpful. But he had said any A1C over 8 will do your body damage. And I got to be honest, what I know now about where I've been, I know for a fact my body was above 8 A1C for probably many years. In the last 2 to 4 years, I bet you, with all the garbage that I was eating, again, with some of the life changes that I've gone through, I wouldn't doubt it if my A1C was 10 or maybe even higher at points. I was eating the worst diet. I was burying my issues and just eating horrible food and actually loving every second of it. But it obviously did my body more damage than I would have ever known. So an A1C above 8, Ken Berry says that does your body damage for the long term. So now I have to keep my body way low on that A1C, like down to, I need to get it way, way low. And I'm going to do that through being carnivore for, like I said, the next 10 days or so. And then I'll be monitoring my food, my diet, much closer to keep the carbs way less than even 100 grams. So again, Magnus Dens, thank you very much. You brought it to my attention that I was definitely eating not like a 9-year-old, but not like the adult I need to be eating to maintain the health that I was having. So yeah, this last week was difficult because I had been building strength, I'm building muscle, and then somehow I hit a level in dysfunction where I just lose my strength. So I think, oh, I need to walk down to my garage, or I need to walk down to the trash can. I get down there and I realize, holy crap, I don't have the strength to stand here for a minute. I don't have the strength to get back to my house. So I end up reverting to like I end up reverting to crawling back into my house, or like I have to take like 25 rests from the garage back into the house. It's very frustrating, actually a little bit scary, but that actually happened, and now I need to get myself reset and get my strength back, and then I'll be, like I said, carnivore for the next 10 days or so. And then I'll add a little bit of vegetables and maybe some beans. I don't know if I'm going to eat beans again. I think the beans were a big part of my problem. The beans and those flour tortillas was really the major difference that I was doing. And that, and adding apples back into my diet. That is all the extra carbs that I added that I think clearly put me over the level that made me dysfunctional again and caused all the problems to come back that I had mostly resolved. Now they're unresolved and back. So I'm trying to resolve them again. So one thing that's interesting that has happened is the joints in my body are now not quite sore anymore. There's definitely less snapping. there's definitely a tension. Like when I straighten out my arms, oh, there was a snap. When I straighten out my arms, they do still snap, but there's like a tension in my arms. And the tension goes like right from my shoulder all the way down to the tips of my hands. The snapping is definitely resolving a little bit, even though, as I say that, my ankles have been snapping a little bit lately. But it's definitely less than it was. So I mean, I feel like again, I pushed myself up to the edge in dysfunction, but I was actually doing better. I'm hoping in the next 10 days to 2 weeks, I'll get back to where I was, get my strength back, and hopefully this snapping and the tension in my joints will resolve, which I think it will, now that I've kind of figured out what the problem probably was. And I'm sure that that was the problem because it's the only changes that I've made is the diet. And that, again, that my diet changes got a little tiny bit worse, a little bit tiny worse over probably the last 2 months. And then it kind of all compounded, and I think just got to the point where it's just too much for my body to handle. Now I have to absolutely stretch like multiple times a day because as my muscles are getting bigger, which they are getting bigger, even though I'm dealing with this insulin resistance and these metabolic issues, my muscles are still getting some of the nutrition they need, and I am building muscles again, which I'm happy about that. I'm hoping that I'll get to the other side of this whole metabolic hurdle and my muscles will continue to grow and my health will slowly get better and better and better. And things will start getting better and easier for me again. So I'm definitely stretching out a lot. My legs, I don't even know what you call it. I've seen it on YouTube where people talk about how your legs get twitchy and the muscles get not itchy, but the muscles get very uncomfortable. I'm definitely experiencing that. So I'm stretching out, and that does help resolve it a little bit. So again, I live in upstate New York. The weather's getting nice, finally. It got extremely hot, actually. I think it's hot. I mean, when I lived in Florida, hot was 110 degrees. You turn on the air conditioner, you just stay inside. I don't really have an air conditioner here, so when it gets really hot, it's hot. And yeah, I ran no mas pantalones for a couple days, and now it's starting to actually cool down in the middle of the night. So I open up the windows at night, and then I close them up during the day, and it keeps my house like pretty reasonable. And now I'm able to leave the windows open, and it's kind of nice. So I'm not gonna crap on the weather where I live, even though I hate it. The weather's actually been pretty decent the last couple days. So I'm looking forward to hopefully adding some vegetables back into my diet at the end of this week. Because I just don't know how people actually eat carnivore and love it. I mean, I like meat. I like eggs. I like butter. But I don't know that I can just eat only meat and eggs all the time forever. I mean, I guess I'll have to if the next 10 days or so helps resolve some of the issues that I've been having. Maybe I'll have to be carnivore forever. But I'm always going to be thinking, when can I give myself a break and eat some more vegetables or eat a little bit of carbs? I don't know how people eat carnivore. If you eat carnivore, do me a favor. Leave a note. Do a comment. Tell me how the heck are you eating carnivore and not like just hating it? Because I love a burger, but I don't love just a burger patty. And I can't eat that like 5 times a day if I'm hungry. I need to have some variety or something with it. I'd be interested to hear what people say about how they eat carnivore and don't want to just go crazy. So I buy and sell cryptocurrency. And I'm happy I got involved with that, Bitcoin and Ethereum and these other cryptocurrencies. But man, this last week has been what a rat race. I don't exactly know what's going on. I think there are people that know what's going on. I'm definitely not one of those people. And I don't trade any of that stuff anymore because I clearly don't know what's going on and I end up losing money. But there's something going on with cryptocurrency that is very frustrating because it should be continuing to grow and getting better, and it's just not. Maybe it's my diet. Who knows? So I don't know what the heck's going on with crypto, but if you're looking at crypto and thinking you should get involved right now, I think it's probably a better time to just hold off at the moment. Take that for what it's worth. I'm not a financial analyst. I'm not smart. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not smart financially. But just know that I don't know that right now is the right time to make huge investments and that kind of stuff. They say that you should, if you're going to invest, you should invest 1 to 5%. I think if you feel like you have to invest, closer to that 1% right now makes a lot of sense. When things are rolling and doing well, then you can add more. But right now, I think it makes sense to just hold off. So I tried to watch. I was trying to keep track of the Olympics, but I got to be honest. I've got a pretty foul taste in my mouth about the Olympics. Like, I don't know what they were thinking about that whole kickoff and what's going on with these kids. Like I'm not going to tell anybody how they need to live, what they need to do, how they need to act. I'm not going to be the one to be against, trans or ethnicities, genders. I'm not going to be the one to be against any of that. But I don't want to watch people just not respecting religion or respecting other people's choices. Like, I'm not going to force anybody to do what they don't want to do. I'm not going to hate against anybody for living the way they want to live. But I don't need it, like, rammed down my throat. And when my child was watching those kind of things with me, I would have been extremely upset if I was watching anything that they anything that they put on, any media, that if I was watching it with my kids, my child, I don't want to have to explain that stuff to my child. I feel like the United States forced other countries to take this whole agenda and blow it up. It doesn't need to be in the Olympics. I think that women fighting men, which is what they are, you can call them transgenders, you can call them whatever you want, they're men. But women fighting men in contact sports is not right. And the fact that anybody in the world says it's okay, I just think that it's ridiculous. I mean, quite frankly, if it was my daughter fighting some man, like, it would be a problem. I don't know that I would let my daughter compete. I would tell her that she's done. I just think that it's ridiculous that we're even allowing that to happen. And again, I'm not going to diss on anybody's lifestyle and the way they want to live, but there are communities and groups, and people can do whatever they want in their circle. They don't need to be in front of everybody else in the world and force all of us to live whatever it is that they're trying to live. I had a friend many years ago that, in secret, none of us knew this until much later, but this man, used to like to dress up like a woman, like trans, I guess. He wasn't gay, but he liked to dress up like a woman. He would go to gay bars, and he would pick up or try to pick up women. That was his thing. And I didn't know about that when I knew him. But when I found out about it later, I didn't hate on him. I didn't think anything of him. He was a nice guy. But I didn't need to be a part of that cycle. I didn't need to hear about what was going on. I didn't need to be around when he was getting dressed up to go out. I didn't need to see any of that or hear any of that. But I wasn't going to hate on him because that was what he wanted to do. And he didn't force any of us to deal with whatever it was that he was going through. He just did his thing and he enjoyed it, and that was it. And I don't know why these people can't just do that. Why do they need to get in front of the rest of us and have a man beat up some guy's daughter? I gotta be honest. If it's my daughter, somebody's gonna get their ass kicked, and it's not my daughter. It's gonna be that man. Anyways, that's I mean, I didn't even know what to think about the Olympics. I saw from the beginning it was sketchy. I was like, I don't even want to watch this. And then they're trying to say that, you know, identifying as a man is identifying as a woman. You're a woman. You're not a woman. You're a man dressed as a woman. So why don't they make transgender people fight transgender people? There you go. Problem solved. But instead they want to try to make it sound like I'm the racist one or I'm the person that's hating on them. And I don't care. I just want them to fight their own people. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. I try to not get too emotional about it, but I'm pretty emotionally like it definitely gets me upset. I'm pretty mad about that whole thing. I'm pretty disappointed that NASA still has 2 astronauts stuck in space. These friggin' idiots paid 6.5 they paid 1.5 billion dollars to build this spaceship. Send it to space with 2 astronauts on their ship. And now they're stuck up in space. They're hoping that Elon Musk is going to go up and rescue these 2 people. They're going to pay him $6.5 billion or $6 billion to on a contract to go up and rescue the people that they stranded in space. Like, what the heck? Our government is doing these things, and I guarantee you they're gonna pay $6.5 billion of our money, and probably it's probably gonna be $8 billion to go up and finally get them and rescue them, and they're gonna scrape off a couple $1 billion for all the scammers in our government just to rescue these 2 poor souls that end up stuck in space. They should have never gone up to begin with, or they should have sent a politician up with them. Then maybe this wouldn't have happened. It's going to cost the United States another $6 billion to rescue these people. And I do feel like they need to be rescued. I feel like they were given a pretty bad pitch. They were excited about making a difference to the world and making a name for themselves. They didn't realize that the United States would take some broke shit, put them on it, send them to space, and then get them stuck there. Which for some reason that's like the United States thing now. It's funny. I remember the American cars were the best cars, and then at one point, it's like buying an American car. If I bought a Ford truck at one point, I had nothing but problems with tie rod ends and mechanical issues. And then I started looking at other brands of cars, Toyota, Lexus. You know, I bought Acura. I bought other cars that were more reliable. And now we've got these ridiculous spaceships, these American spaceships. We're sending people to space on, and then we're stranding them. I just think it's ridiculous. they should defund NASA and we should stay the heck out of space travel because we clearly can't do it reliably. We can't be trusted. And again, if they want to make sure that we're able to build things that can be trusted, they should put a politician on the crew. Then you would see they would all be like, nope, we're not going to go. Maybe people won't get stranded. They're going to try to tell us that, oh, we should get 8 or 10 people to go to Mars. They're going to strand people on the moon. They're going to strand people on Mars. Like, people are going to die because Americans can't do what they say they're going to do. And we can't trust the companies that we're paying all these billions of dollars to actually build these technologies. Hopefully Elon Musk will be able to go up and rescue these 2 people up in space and they don't end up dying up there. So I ended up somehow getting a mouse in my bedroom, which I can actually hear it over here. It's stuck on a glue trap, and it's not good. It's not expired yet. But I ended up having a mouse in my bedroom, which is kind of a real pain in the ass. Nobody needs a mouse. Nobody needs bugs or a mouse in their bedroom. It makes sleeping not so great, and I'll be happy when that whole cycle is done. So that was kind of an interesting thing that happened. What is this thing of what is burdened by what has been? What kind of bullshit is that? What kind of word salad is that? How the heck is our politicians, our government people saying such ridiculous, stupid shit, and we somehow, I say we, this particular one is not me, but our society rallies behind these people because of whatever party they're associated with. When do we stop getting behind parties? I know people that have to be associated with a party because they don't have enough thought to make their own decisions. But I just don't think that we're going to be able to get beyond this crazy lifestyle that we've built with parties until somebody comes along and shows our society people that you can actually make decisions and choices not being party led. Like, people are so crazy about the party thing. It's like if you're red or you're blue, that's it. You have to choose one or the other because you're not smart enough to necessarily pick somewhere in the middle or to force change to give us some alternative that makes sense. Now we've got 2 horrible choices, neither of which actually make sense, and we've somehow forced ourselves into making that choice. I don't get that whole thing. I definitely don't understand it. So I hope this all makes sense. My health, I'm hopefully going to start seeing it respond positively with the new diet that I'm having, which is, again, carnivore. I'm switching just to pure carnivore. Meat and eggs, and that's it. And some of this other rant stuff. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, if you're getting ready to buy a MacBook Air, or MacBook Pro, they've done a pretty good job talking about MagSafe is back. The MagSafe now sucks. It's a tiny little adapter. It's a tiny little port. It does magnet, but it doesn't line up like the old MagSafe, where the old MagSafe, you just took the cable, you stuck it anywhere near the laptop, and that magnet would grab that cable and pull it right on. Now you actually have to strategically get it in the right spot or it doesn't attach. It's a real pain in the ass, especially if you have neuropathy. It's actually kind of difficult. So hey Apple, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, clean up that MagSafe bullshit, because that is not any benefit that I'm excited about having. It's more of a pain. So that's it. I wanted to talk about my health, a little bit of rant, a little bit of just update in life. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. And I hope you thought this post was interesting. Again, comments are very helpful to me, and I'm open to any comments. Please be nice. And if you like this post, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I add a post every week. Usually on the weekend, I'll add a post. Sometimes I add one in between the week, but usually on the weekend, I'll do the posts. Usually my midweek posts are just rants. If you are a subscriber, hey, thank you so much. And again, if you're commenting and a thumbs up subscriber, I really appreciate it. I see all that stuff, and it definitely helps me like with whatever it is that I'm trying to do, which I haven't quite figured that out yet. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of the day. See y'all. Bye-bye.